All right. So, starting a little late, but not too late. Normally, I like to start, I guess, like an hour-ish before this. Are there people here? If there are not people here, then I'm gonna leave. Yep, there are people here. Hey, Sam Fowler, congratulations for being the first person to enter the chat. Everybody else, rest in peace. Second place, not too bad. What is going on? Sorry I'm a little late today. I don't think I'm too late. I'm trying to start streams Mondays, 8 p.m. EST, somewhere between 8 and 8:30 EST. It is now 8:58 EST, but, I tried. Slage Roban, thanks a lot for asking. Hi, Morge. How are you today? I am doing pretty okay. Today was supposed to be a very productive day for me, but I woke up very late, and so it ended up just being a day. Not a super productive day, but it ended up being a day. The Pirate Hero says, missed the Mod Rebellion last week. Lol. Yes, you did miss the Mod Rebellion. The Mod Rebellion, thankfully, it amounted to nothing. They were not able to organize themselves. Oh, Silvers is here. Silvers, I I did see your last message asking me for my profile pic, so I did see that message. But I had trouble finding it, so then I decided to put it off till later. But I will get you that for sure. Sorry about that. I saw it and then I was like, I have that saved somewhere, but I don't know where. I'll find it later. I'll get that to you soon. Juan Perret, were you the one pushing for the Mod Rebellion? If I figure out who is at the core of the Mod Rebellion and I can just ban that one person, that would make my life great. Unless it's Juan Perret, because I like Juan too much. Look, Juan's deleting people's messages right now. That's the kind of mod work that we need around here. Silvers has the blue wrench next to his name, and he's never in these streams. He doesn't do anything, but Silvers has clout, so it's okay. No, Silvers, I will try to get it to you soon. I'll try and get it to you today, so you can kind of just set up. OD18 says, Nami got such a power boost last chapter. Yeah, she did. Nami, I like the power boost that she got because it wasn't, how do you say? It's not out of character or strange or anything new for her to have, like, top tier firepower among the Straw Hats. So, I like that it's just kind of staying consistent with how things felt pre-time skip. Again, like pre-time skip, it definitely felt like Nami has her in terms of just straight attack power. She's up there with the best of the best among the Straw Hats. It's more so kind of just the mobility and her other physical stats that kind of keep her away from being like, actually a really strong combatant. So she's good in her spots that she's good at, and just really, really outclassed in a lot of other areas. So I like that that sort of balance. And with the Zeus thing, like, it kind of answers the new issue that you kind of have, which is like, well, if you're in the new world and having like a lot of firepower, that alone isn't going to cut it because characters are fucking fast, so they can get out of those, lightning strikes and everything like that. So this at least allows her to keep up even with fast characters. Wait a second. Nope says, Morge, I just finished a great poop, period. Feeling good. Nope. Thank you for entering my chat and sharing that with the people. Because otherwise it was just going to be boring One Piece discussion. But now that you've shared, your bowel movements with us, I feel like this whole chat has kind of gained something out of it. Something beyond what just One Piece discussion could bring to this conversation. Everyone try and be more like Nope. Peter Falk says, light up some kush and listen to Morge. I do not condone any of that. But obviously, if you want to light something up, then go ahead. It will make this stream more entertaining. We have a very special stream planned today. A very, very special stream. We're going to be discussing something we have never discussed before, which is One Piece Chapter 1016. This chapter has never been out before, this stream. So, this is the first time that we get to discuss it. Last week we could only discuss One Piece Chapter 1015, but this week, it's a whole new chapter. So, very, very special stream. First time we can talk about One Piece Chapter 1016. Hebihime says, there's a guy on Ohara's server that is always pooping when Ohara is online. Well, that's probably Nope. Sounds like this guy's a little bit of a Magellan. He's got a bit of Magellan in him. Proton says 1016 is bigger number than 1015. Yes, it is. I have a feeling that a couple streams from now we will be talking about One Piece Chapter 1017. But you never know. streams might go backwards a little bit. Maybe I'm talking about 1014 in a little bit. You never know. But the good news is, next week, there is no chapter. You know what? The reason that is good news is because that means that next week, we can do another tier list stream. There's no chapter to talk about, so we can do another tier list stream. Those are by far my favorite streams. But unfortunately, we got a chapter this week, so we can talk about something. The Pirate Hero says, Yamato, best husband and wife. Yeah, Yamato can work as both husband and wife. The Pirate Hero says, can we just talk about One Piece 1020 right now? I wish we could, man. Wish we could. Do we have any questions in here? Oh, Princess Taco, thanks a lot. Mr. Morge saying, my weekly hope stream. This is not even a proper statement. Princess Taco just says, Mr. Morge saying, my weekly hope stream doesn't... Oh, you're saying my weekly hope stream doesn't fail. Yeah, we have not had a stream fail in a while. The internet has been good ever since I moved downstairs. I've commandeered the living room area for the sake of the stream. So let's hope it's worth it and we don't have any stream failures. Sanji Boy Dead, thanks a lot. I think first time I'm seeing you around these parts. I just thought about this. What happens to male apprentices Momo's age of a pirate crew after the crew fails a raid on Amazon Lily? You're saying what would they do to Momonosuke? Well, I hate to break it to you, but since Momonosuke is a male, biologically, it's probably going to be the same thing that happens to any dude that ends up on Amazon Lily. They're gonna fuck him. No, I'm kidding. They'll probably kill him. I don't know. I like to think that Amazon Lily, they wouldn't do that to poor little Momo. You know, Momo's just a little kid. Maybe they send him off in a little raft or a little boat or something like that, you know? They just send him off on a little boat, hope that he finds his way home properly. Maybe they find... No, there's not really a way that they could swap him to... You know, they don't have Ivankov lying around. They couldn't really do anything like that to just swap his gender or his... Whatever the words are, you know, whatever the word we use nowadays for whatever the swapping of the sexes is. So, not 100% sure. Oh, no, that's true. Wordna says Old Boa would have 100% done it. Never mind. Yeah, so actually, now that I'm thinking about it, no, Amazon Lily, yeah, they probably would just kill Momonosuke. Because if Boa Hancock can freely kick puppies, kittens, baby seals, why would she, like, I don't think she's going to have a soft spot in her heart for Momo. Let us not forget that Boa Hancock was going to kill, I'm pretty sure she was just going to leave, like, 5 innocent girls left to be stuck in stone forever, right? If Luffy had made the wrong choice when she gave him that ultimatum, do you want the boat or do you want your friends freed? I am pretty sure that Hancock would have just left them to die. So, I don't know. I would not put it past her to have Momonosuke killed. Ellen Page says, do you think there will be any romance for any of the Straw Hats? Well, one, you should update your name. I think it's Elliot Page now. And I do think that there'll be romance for the Straw Hats. I don't think it'll be prominent during the main part of the story, meaning, you know, I don't think that during the main, like, I think during the epilogue of the story, Oda could kind of push some of the fandom ships into reality. For example, I don't want to talk about it too much here because this is just like a juicy video waiting to happen. I wonder how many views I would get for a video on shipping of the Straw Hats, how I predict final ships to go. But let me just say offhand, like, for example, I think that, you know, I think Sanji versus Pudding is a very real romance that Oda has written into the story, right? I think that's a very... Verona says Pudding or Viola for Sanji. I think Pudding is a much bigger part of of what makes sense for... I think Pudding and Sanji was a bigger part of Sanji's entire character arc as a whole in Whole Cake Island. I think if Oda is to write in a long-term romance for Sanji, it would be Pudding. So I do believe that that is actually an endgame romance that's set up for Sanji. I also think that there are actually some potential. Like, I think that... I guess I'll say it here. I think Robin and Frankie is a very viable ship. Like, if you look at their interactions throughout the series, like, I do think that Robin and Frankie make a lot of sense for each other, even just starting from Water 7 Enies Lobby. If you go back and reread Water 7 Enies Lobby and don't come away from it thinking that Robin and Frankie, like, have a special bond in some sense, and that they found something in each other, I don't know what to say. It doesn't necessarily have to be romantic, but I'm saying if a romance were to happen among the crew, I think Robin and Frankie makes a lot of sense for it. Zeus Will, thanks a lot. You think Tama Falls due to exhausting her devil fruit. Falls due to exhausting her devil fruit. Tama falls due to exhausting her devil fruit. No, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't know if her fruit is one that works like that, but I have to go back and check. Not 100% sure. I don't know if Tama's fruit is like that type of a fruit. Whale Poops a Lot says only little kids write F. Dude, your name is Whale Poops a Lot. What the? Sorry, Wally Poops a Lot. Wally Poops a Lot wrote only little kids write F, while his name is Wally Poops a Lot. What are you talking about? Ahmed Booth says Robin deserves way better. Better than Frankie? Dude, Frankie was the one that got her out of her depression. Frankie was the one that changed her views on life. Frankie was the one that showed her a new perspective in the world. Frankie is probably the straw that Robin has the strongest bond with. Frankie's a great dude, also, for the record. I think Frankie's... It's so sad, because Frankie's such a great character. It's just that, like, he's... I feel like he's... A lot of who he is at his core has been buried underneath the super robot meme that he has become. I think, like, the old school, like, for the recent video on, like, Frankie, Pluton, the blueprints, etc., I got to go reread Frankie's backstory and everything like that. He's got a great backstory and a great character arc, and actually he's a very, very interesting character. I don't think we've seen a lot of who he is at his core in a long while. Kushin Mukherjee, thanks a lot. Who wins? Transphobic Sanji versus racist Zoro. We've got a... You're taking after Rajesh, dude. You're taking after Rajesh. Are you Rajesh in disguise? Are you one of his friends? Or are you just an admirer? I will answer your question. Transphobic Sanji versus racist Zoro. I'll take... So, for the record, Sanji is transphobic. So, you're just talking about normal Sanji. Like, Sanji is factually transphobic. We have factual canonical proof throughout the manga to show that Sanji is transphobic. His version of hell was literally being on an island, Newcama Island, right? That was his version of hell. So Sanji is transphobic. So transphobic Sanji versus racist Zoro, I mean, I think it's kind of similar to Sanji versus Zoro. So I'll take Zoro. Why are so many people writing F? Guys, it's not lagging. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Bastiano T, thanks a lot. You can't talk about end of story romance and skip Luffy times Nami. Come on, be brave. Look, I will say I do believe that if Luffy is to have a romance by the end of the series, it will not be Boa Hancock. That is crazy talk. It will not be Boa Hancock. It would, if Luffy is to have a romance by the end of the series, it would be Nami. That's it. Also, O'Hara and I were talking about something really funny on the Wano Report the other day, which was so like you know the whole Gold Roger and Port Gusky Rouge romance that happened. Roger fell in love, was acting more like a father, etc., etc. That whole storyline is really tainted a little bit if you think about it in terms of Roger's actual goals, which was that like he found out what the Will of D was, he found out what the secrets of Raftel were, and he just decided that, hey, my son is gonna fulfill this will, so I just need to go out and have a son. So O'Hara and I were talking, it sounds like Roger just went shopping around to find a woman with the initial D and just knock her up. Like, that was just his goal. It wasn't this beautiful romance where Roger found this woman that he loved or anything like that. He just needed a baby mama. Like, he was just like, I need a woman with the initial D to have my kid. She did not know what she was getting into, which was that she was going to be chased by the Marines for the rest of her life and forced to hold Ace in her womb for, like, God knows how long. I forget. It was, like, a year plus, maybe 2 years or some ridiculous number or something like that. And then she died. So, yeah, Roger went out kind of dirty the way he did things. But, you know, I don't know. It really puts a damper on that whole flashback when you just think about what Roger's goals were and what he set out to accomplish. Just like, I need a woman with the name D, and that's basically it. And that's my romance. Kalash, thanks a lot. Do you think Zoro Hiyori ship will happen? Yeah. I mean, I think that's basically being set up for Zoro, something along those lines. But at the same time, Zoro Tashigi has been set up to a degree. Um, I'm not gonna read too much into it because like I think Zoro Hiyori Zoro. I personally believe Tashigi will make an appearance in Wano, so I'll be able to understand more like the direction Oda's going, like how seriously he's writing in Zoro Hiyori by the end of Wano. I think. I mean, I guess that's an obvious thing to say, but I'm gonna wait and see if Tashigi shows up in Wano. If not, then maybe that whole thing is just not happening. The Dark King Rosewire says, "You and BDLaw, Law, my favorite YouTubers for One Piece content." I'm doing a collab with BDLaw Law in a little bit, so stay tuned. I'll probably go up this Friday. Sharkman RF24, long question below, couldn't fit it here. Oh, Sharkman, you're gonna make me look for this question? Alright, let's take a look. Where's Sharkman's question? By below, do you mean above? Or below? Like literally below. Where's Sharkman RF24? People, okay, now I'm seeing people did not like my Luffy Nami take. Well, listen, I don't need to defend it against you guys. I'll make a video on it when I need to make a video on it. I don't see Sharkman RF24's question. Where is it? I just don't see it. First name, last name, thanks a lot. In the Wano report, you also Joy Boy should be from the clan of D. Do you not view that as Naruto-type reincarnation? No, because maybe it's just a bloodline thing that, like, it has to be done by someone from the bloodline. That doesn't mean you're reincarnated. Like, that's totally different. Like, there's a difference between someone from the bloodline has to do it versus, like, oh, this is that same person that's reincarnated. I don't see this dude. Sharkman, where's your question? Alright, I'm gonna look hard. See if we can find this. Wordness is Morge, I love your character design. Thanks. I'm a real person. Sharkman, I don't know what you're talking about. Can someone fill me in on what Sharkman said? What did Sharkman say? Does anyone see his comment? I want to answer it. I'm searching as we speak. I'm looking for a long comment because he implied that it's a very long comment. Princess Taco, have a nice day. Have a fail-free stream. I will. Boa times Luffy's best ship. I will unsupport on Patreon right now, JK. Yoru says, Morge, why do you look so red? I don't know. I think I always look brown. Maybe I look red right now. Kushin Makurji, thanks a lot. Firstly, Rajesh isn't even worthy of shining my shoes. Damn, okay, Rajesh isn't even worthy of shining my shoes. Secondly, Kozuki, waxing moon. Minx, full moon. Amatsuki, waning moon. D, half moon. Oh, wait, there's a new theory right there. There's a new theory right there. I don't know what that means, though. I can't comprehend anything that you're saying that these are long-running clans. D were one of these clans, essentially. And they each are represented by a certain side of the moon, a phase of the moon's lunar cycle. I just don't have a response to that. Like, that's an interesting idea to bring up, but I've got nothing to say. Nestor Garcia says, no need to defend anything, but Luffy times Nami has the most developed and mature non-physical romance level in pretty much any shonen. Nestor Garcia gets it. Everyone go look at Nestor Garcia's comment. All right? Everyone go look at him. Link Owl says, what the F, Sharkman? Well, where's his comment? I'm looking for it. Can anyone fill me in? Hopefully I'm not. Oh, Sharkman, we found you. Sharkman's theory, Makino's kid is not actually Shanks's, but Luffy's. Would have happened just before he left. He doesn't know, and that's why she was never seen. What? No. Sharkman, I can't believe I looked this long to find this theory. Your theory is that Makino is Luffy's kid. No, there's just no way. Like, Makino was like a mother figure to Luffy. There's no way. No, come on. No. There's just no way. That's an interesting theory, though. I'll give it that. Like, it did. I'm glad I scrolled enough to find it, actually, because I've never heard something like that, and I would never have expected to hear something like that. Chad Bayesian Boy, thanks a lot. If Tama is able to turn the rest of the gifters, Kaido should be left with around 5k more incoming Grand Fleet. They have Luffy's Vivre card, so they know he's been close to death a couple times. Now also can set up post Wano. I like to think that with the Vivre card, I definitely believe the Grand Fleet will come. You guys know, I think that it's post raid failing. I think that with the Vivre card stuff, like Luffy has been close to death so many times between now and Whole Cake Island that it needs to be something really significant and clear that would make sense that, oh, this is a different scenario that we would understand would finally be a signal for the Grand Fleet to come. You know what I mean? Because at this point, like, why didn't they come during the Katakuri situation when Luffy was near death multiple times? Why didn't they come earlier in Wano when Luffy was first thrown in Udon? Why, like, has anything really happened to him during this raid so far? Like, he got tossed in the water. Is he more injured right now than when he had a hole blown through his stomach during Katakuri? Even during the Cracker fight, you could argue that he was close to... I guess you wouldn't argue he was close to death. But I would think if the Grand Fleet come, again, my hope is that Kaido beats him again, and this one is brutal enough that it would actually show up on the Vivre card as like, oh, this character is close to death. You know what I mean? Juan Perez says Sharkman is a menace. I mean, he's got some interesting ideas up there. Don't think I agree with them at all. Chen Ho Wong says, Morge stream I always miss, that sucks. How I initially read this was Morge stream, that sucks. So I missed the middle part. It's like, damn. Immediately shitting on the stream. Chen Ho Wong, what are you talking about? You're not missing this. You're watching the stream right now. The fact that you're in chat means that you're watching the stream right now. You're not missing anything. Christian Barraza, thanks a lot. Robin times Frankie, you're also a man of culture. What do you think about the journal revelations in regards to Momo and any implications? I assume it'll have something to do with Momo's role in terms of commanding Zunisha. I think a lot of it will have to do with something Zunisha related. Or like part of it will explain the importance of Zunisha and having the ability to, I guess, command Zunisha, voice of all things and stuff like that. And maybe there's a special role for Momo carved out in there. Maybe he's Joy Boy. I forget exactly what the qualifications for being Joy Boy were, the timelines and everything like that. Maybe that doesn't quite work for Momonosuke. But I assume we're going to find out more so what his destiny is about. There's some secrets of the world that apply to him, right? That's basically all I'm thinking. Alexander Byland Lyko says, it is not a live stream, it is recording. Oh, yeah? Well, then why is the connection so bad, huh? Why does the stream lag so frequently if it's just a recording? Think about that. Why wouldn't I get a better webcam if it's just why wouldn't I shoot in front of my 4K camera if it's just a recording? Huncho Lewis keeps asking, Morge, do you still think Big Mom isn't cute? I don't even know. When did I express this? What do you mean by cute? Like cute, like, oh, she's like a cute kid, like a cute puppy? Because no, she's like a scary monster. Cute, like, oh, she's attractive cute? No, she's like fat and old. Not that there's anything... I don't know, she's clearly not drawn to be like an attractive character, right? Like I don't think I'm saying anything wrong there. Alright? 700 Morge haters, lol. Like the stream, damn it. What do the likes do? Do the likes boost the stream up? If they do, then guys, go like it. Do I need to tell you to like the stream? You guys should just organically do that. I don't have to be like, hey, guys, like the stream. Actually, I kind of like it. I like telling you guys to like the stream. It gives me a sense of power. Hey guys, go like the stream. What are you doing? I'll turn it off. I'll turn off the stream. I'll turn it off. I'll do it. Like this. Oh, there we go. We got some likes. Yeah. I didn't have to beg or anything. That's laying down the hammer, you know? Got some like. Oh my god, the likes fucking doubled. You guys are really holding out. What's wrong? You guys are really holding out. Got 100 more likes in a second. Trade number 7. Will all the Strahds get hockey? No, I don't like the idea of all the Strahds getting hockey. I generally, I've talked about this before, but let's use Frankie as an example. Why the fuck would Frankie ever need hockey? Like, what is the point? Like, everything that makes Frankie unique is the fact that he can build his own weapons to come up with, unique solutions to a lot of problems. His weapons can do a lot of things that other characters can't, even with hockey. We saw that as early as Punk Hazard with the door and everything like that. if he ever has to fight a Logia user, he should have incorporated Sea Stone into his arsenal by that point, regardless. I mean, he's in Wano for so long. There's no reason he shouldn't already have incorporated Sea Stone into this fighting style. I think most Straw Hats, they're better off without Haki. I think it makes sense for the Monster Trio because they are all physical, pure physical fighters. They need to have Haki. But for someone, like, for a lot of characters, what makes them unique is their fighting styles regardless of Haki. And, like, I would rather see them bloom or grow in ways that don't incorporate, like, the generic Haki stuff. Rajesh Narayan! You got competition, man, with Kushin Mukherjee, so take things up with him. Who will have an eye patch and why will it be Joy Boy? Oh, dude, you're actually coming in with, like, a real question. A real question, my god. Guys, round of applause. First time this has ever happened. Rajesh asked a real question. It's actually a great question. Who will have an eye patch and why will it be Joy Boy? I don't know if Joy Boy will have an eye patch. I like to think actually it's a character that we already know that is going to lose an eye. I would love, love, love to see Usopp with an eye patch. Usopp with an eye patch would be great. You guys know I'm still holding out for Usopp to be captured and tortured. So if that happens, I would love to see him lose an eye and kind of like stay strong in the face of torture or something along those lines. Not sell out his friends, something like that. The Pirate Hero, thanks a lot. Love your videos, Morge. Last week you said Ulti was not someone to marry or live with. My question is, why would you go on the internet and be wrong? Dude, you're not thinking things through. What if you marry Ulti? Like, that is maybe the most... this phrase isn't really used anymore, right, in modern day, but that is the most battle axe wife that you could possibly ask for, right? Like, what... like, what are you talking about? Like, it's all fun and games until, you know... you're actually dealing with your anime waifu in reality, and it turns out that she's like a shitty person to live with. Edwin Rodriguez, thanks a lot. Wait, am I out of order here? I think I might be out of order. Alpha Moon, you asked first. Usopp will lose most of his lifespan courtesy of Big Mom because Usopp is all about gaining courage and against someone who steals souls, even the small. I would like to think that Usopp would stand firm against Big Mom, and that would be like a really good moment for him if Usopp is confronted by Big Mom and does not, in fact, falter in front of her. Edwin Rodriguez, thanks a lot. Morge, am I the only one who thinks Momo's joining the crew goes against the core theme of One Piece, kid following their own footsteps? Momo wants to become Shogun, not sail the seas like his father. Yes, but it's different in that, like, for Momonosuke, it's very arguable that gaining that experience, like, he needs that real-world experience in order to become a Shogun. So, I doubt that Momo would become a Shogun right away if he was left in Wano. It's arguable that actually traveling the world and learning as an apprentice on the Straw Hats ship is the path towards him becoming a Shogun for Wano. So Maya Goel, thanks a lot, because one of the big things with Wano is that it was isolationist for so long. So Momo learning more about the outside world before becoming the country's leader could actually be very important to that. So Maya Goel, thanks a lot. Will you be doing other things other than chapter reviews and tier lists? Any gaming stuff? Also, when is your new channel coming out? That is a great question. Let's start with the new channel. New channel got a bump back. It is officially being released. It's going up on June 29th. That is the new date of starting. I just want to do it right. I could have rushed it, gotten it out this week, but I just want to do things right. As for things other than chapter reviews and tier lists, I might kick it to the people and see what other ideas we have. Gaming, I think that there's a lot of... I wish I was better at games. I could play Smash. I was talking to a roommate earlier, like, I could just stream Smash Melee or something like that, but I don't think that that's a game that appeals to enough people, maybe, that you guys would like it. I could just play and talk to you guys at the same time, and maybe that's a good way to do things, but, games, I might incorporate those. I might do one test stream where I'm playing a game and talking at the same time, and we'll see how that goes. Other than that, if you guys have ideas other than tier list streams, like, I do have some ideas, but they're not fully fleshed out, so I'll see. Jarrett Neville, thanks a lot. 1v1 if Big Mom and Kaido went uninterrupted, who would finally come out on top? I mean, I'll take Kaido. I just think he's got that, the bigger hype portrayal it's set around him. Rico Guapo, thanks a lot. Raid failure funds. That's the type of comment that I like to see. Just a silent, simple support for the failure of the raid. That's the type of thing that I like to see in this chat. I think I missed a couple people. Let me just make sure. Nope. Okay. So, CLB, thanks a lot. Have you seen the new One Piece opening? No, I'm not really up to date on the openings and anything like that. I like the openings from my day, back when I watched the anime. The classic openings. We Are. The other ones. I don't remember their names. but there were some really good ones. There's one that begins with a CH. I like that one. Yeah, back in the day when I really liked watching anime, the One Piece anime, that was when I was attached to the openings. Now I don't care about the openings. In fact, my controversial anime opinion is that they just should, and no anime should ever spend money doing openings. They should just put that budget into making the actual show better. Cut out the openings. Fuck anime openings. Get rid of those. This is a scene where Luffy is underwater and maybe has his awakening. Do you think that could be canon? No, CLB. I don't believe that the anime has ever shown anything, in my opinion, that is something ahead of the manga, in my opinion. Christian McCurgy, thanks a lot. Big Mom versus diabetes or Kaido versus liver damage? Christian, I'm sorry to tell you, but Rajesh has progressed to asking real questions. So he's left you by yourself just asking this weird, dumbass, off-topic scenarios, but I will answer it regardless. Big Mom versus diabetes or Kaido versus liver damage? Big Mom versus diabetes. Like, Kaido's a drunk, but Big Mom is she's a freak in nature when it comes to eating, right? Like, Kaido's not going on week-long rampages because he didn't get the type of alcohol that he wants, right? There's two different extremes here that we're talking about. Like, there's a difference between liking your alcohol a lot and whatever the hell Big Mom is, which is just like this Godzilla-esque glutton of a monster. Juan Peace, thanks a lot. Will the Sunny Spirit ever appear? I feel like Usopp spotting Mary's Spirit was a foreshadow of his endgame level of observation or some other power. Will the Sunny Spirit ever appear? For whatever reason, I know the Sunny's been around longer. I do feel like they went through more with the Going Merry. Maybe just because the Sunny, I don't know why that is exactly. Maybe just because the Sunny, I guess post Sunny arcs have been more so like they spent 2 years apart. Then they spent a lot of time on Wano. They spent a lot of time on. I can't quite put my finger on it why it feels more like the Going Merry they spent more time with than the Sunny, even though in terms of chapters that's not quite true. Maybe I got to rethink that. But maybe by the very end of the series we will see the spirit of the Sunny as well, something along those lines. I'm not sure. Oh, people want me to play Melee. I could play Melee. I could play Melee. Fun fact, I got matched against Mewtwo King today in unranked on Melee. It was bad, I got 4-stocked. He's the only, I played him. I was on Hungrybox's stream once, and that was really embarrassing so I was on Hungrybox's stream once because I ended up matching with him, and I was so excited, I pulled out my phone, so I was trying to play with one hand and filming it with the other, because I don't have Slippy Replays saved on my computer, just because I just didn't download that for whatever reason, so the thing that you need to set up to have the replays saved. So I was filming with my phone and trying to play at the same time, and I would get 4-stocked either way, but I got 4-stocked more embarrassed. I looked like I didn't know what I was doing because I was playing with one hand and trying to film with the other. And then Hungrybox was commenting on stream, he's like, "This is the weirdest Fox I've ever played." I was like, "Bro, I'm just excited to play you. You don't understand." I watched his stream VOD later. I was like, I was just happy. I was just happy to play you. I was filming at the same time. Christian Baranza, thanks a lot. You made videos on Straw Hat power-ups before, but with Nami's Zeus power-up and the implications of Chopper's Rumble Ball time limit, any thoughts on any other surprise Straw Hat power-ups in Wano? Yeah, I've talked about Zoro, Sanji, and Luffy, so I think I've covered those guys, so I'm not going to talk about them. With Robin, I wonder if we get a Devil Fruit. I'm wondering if we get a Devil Fruit Awakening for one of the Straw Hats before Luffy. I would love to see an Awakening for Robin or Chopper. Particularly, because I think Chopper has so much potential with what he could do with the Rumble Ball now that he's in Wano. If he can figure out something new to do with the Rumble Ball or some new level, because he already figured out the 30-minute extension or whatever. If he can figure out a new form to do it beyond Monster Point, I would love that. Because at this point, Monster Point feels like the norm. I would love to see Chopper get to one more level beyond that. Muchacho Aikil, thanks a lot. I appreciate it. Why are people calling him a boomer? Why are people calling me a boomer? Oh, back in my day. I get you. Man, I'm so far behind in chat. Did you guys... Let me get to the point where I say that I want to get rid of anime openings. Yeah, no. Let's talk about that. Let's just get rid of anime openings. Why do you guys want the anime openings? Well, let me answer these first real quick. Rock and Rom. What if the Great Cleansing is a biological weapon and Chopper makes the medicine stop it, completing his dream? That would be pretty cool. I like the idea that Chopper helps Luffy just because that's more personal, but why not both? Por qué no los dos? I hate that phrase. I don't know why I said it. I said it just out of habit because it came up to the top of my mind. But some phrases I think are so stupid. as jokes. You should just never say them, including Por qué no los dos. Just because it's overused, right? Simone Varvaresos, thanks a lot. You made grades for possible Nakamas some time ago. Has your stance changed on those grades? Fun fact, Simon, a video is coming out tomorrow on Yamato. My stance has actually not changed. To me, Yamato, the more Yamato says that I'm going to join, like outright I'm going to join, the more it makes me believe that Oda's not going to have her join. It just feels like if you go aggressively in that direction, Oda's going to take you the opposite. It's kind of like if Luffy's asking Sanji and Baratie, hey, join my crew, and Sanji's saying, no, I'll never join. That makes me believe more that Sanji's going to join. You know what I mean? I'll just say there's never been a case where a Straw Hat just aggressively campaigns themselves to get on the Straw Hat crew, and then it happens. And obviously, Oda can obviously change the rules, etc., do things different, but it just feels too blatant here. Like what there's not really any there's not really any, like, Yamato's not really overcoming something and then learning something and then finding her path to the Straw Hat crew. She just thinks from the start that, oh, my right path is the Straw Hat crew, which is very different. And don't say Robin. Robin, if you believe that Robin forced her way onto the Straw Hat crew, and like that moment when she joined in Alabasta was the actual moment that Robin joined the crew, then like there's no point having a conversation. Like, Yamato genuinely wants to join the Straw Hat crew. Robin just wanted a place to stay. She was just looking to hitchhike. She was just looking to squat. Robin was just a squatter. She never considered herself actually part of the Straw Hat crew till she said, I want to live. Ma7 Mood Ayman says, check Zekro and comment. I said it about 4 months ago and I'm still sticking by it. I don't know what you're... What? I don't know what the... Check Zekro and comment. I don't know what you're saying here. Rajesh Narayan, Kushin is a hack and smells funny. Got him. I agree. I'm with you, Rajesh. I've known you a little longer. But I can easily turn. If Kushin starts dropping some good questions, I can easily turn. I'm very easily turned. Silver says, Jude, let's play Monster Hunter. No. I don't want to. I don't want to like learning new games. Oh, sorry, I didn't finish Rajesh's comment. No Hair Shanks versus Edward No Beard Newgate. Yeah, you really showed Kushin right there with a quality question. So Whitebeard, as it is right now, has no beard. So he actually is Edward No Beard Newgate. So I'd take Whitebeard, because God knows how strong Shanks is without his hair. But we know how strong Whitebeard is without his beard. He's the world's strongest man. Dude, let's play Monster Hunter. No. No, Silvers. I don't like playing new games. I like playing games that I know. I don't like learning new things. You guys might be surprised. I'm very opposed to learning new things in general. That's not just games. I'm very opposed to learning in general, unless like there's some sort of clear goal. Like, if I have to learn to like learn this there to achieve this, to get this knowledge that I can implement in this way, like if it's very relevant to what I'm trying to do or accomplish or something like that, then I'm all down to learn, right? I have to learn a lot about marketing, a lot about business and stuff like that. I have to learn a lot about YouTube. Even in, well, you guys don't really know what the next channel is about, but like anytime that there's some like tangible goal that I need to learn a lot for, I'm down to learn. But I don't like learning things just to learn them. So when there's a new game, I have to really, really want to play that game before I'm ready to be like, okay, let me put in some time to learn how to play this game. Otherwise, it just seems like a pain to me. Satoshi Nagami, thanks a lot. Mr. Morge, I think Buggy Crew are parallel to Yonko Rocks, Alvida Big Mom, Moji and Richie equals Kaido, Mr. 3 equals Whitebeard, Kabaji equals Shanks, Funan Rose equals BB, maybe Buggy is Rocks' son. I don't know about any of that, dude. I'm just not on board with that, I'm sorry. I'm not on board with that. Muchacho Aichel says, Morge, forgot to send a message. Hi, never bought a super chat for anyone. Hey, thanks for making me your first super chat. Love you, man. Thanks a lot. Mount Fuji, final battleground, Luffy versus Kaido. Your thoughts? That is a cool idea for a final battleground. I think that would be awesome. Luffy punching Kaido down through Mount Fuji. Also, I like how we all just call it... Maybe it is actually called Mount Fuji. I forget what it's called in Wano. Sharkman RF, or 24... You think Luffy bang Makino? You're that guy. If anything, how do you think Frankie will upgrade the Sunny post Wano? Potential new docks? So I don't know about post Wano. I do think end of story, we will see the Sunny upgrade into Pluton. By some point, end of story. You know what I mean? So I don't know about post Wano necessarily, though. Ricken, thanks a lot. What is Kaido's dream and how does Joy Boy relate? Well, that's the $1 million question, man. If I knew that, then I could, I wouldn't be talking to you. I'd be working on a theory right now to get that out. If I had to guess here, Kaido's dream, I mean, we know that Kaido expressed that he wants to take over the world, right? He expressed that back in chapter 954 with Big Mom, that, once they beat everybody else, then they're going to go back to killing each other and try and take over the world. But I assume that there's more to it than that, and a lot of it is based on the Destiny stuff, the Will of D. Kaido may even know the Will of D. I don't know what he's doing looking for Joy Boy. I think he's aware that he himself can't be Joy Boy. He is not a member of the D clan, after all, as far as we know. So I don't have good answers for you. The one thing I do know about his goal is that he does want to be the king of the world, as far as it seems, right? Maybe he wasn't being fully open with his complete intentions, but if you go back read end of chapter 954, it does sound like that's something he wants to take over the world. So that is a goal. He wants that empty throne. Throne wars, etc., everything Doflamingo was talking about. No says, I think Blackbeard will be Pirate King and will die. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, I've thought about the possibility of, like, Blackbeard actually getting the title of Pirate King before Luffy, and then Luffy having to dethrone him and getting the title of Pirate King. But I think it would just be a little cleaner if, like, it feels weird if someone gets to be Pirate King before Luffy. I think it would be a little cleaner if the final battle is just for the title of Pirate King and Luffy beats Blackbeard out for it, in my opinion. Michael Yarbo, thanks a lot. Who's showing up in Wano? Any wild predictions for the rest of the Fire Festival? Well, if the raid doesn't fail, I don't think anybody else is showing up in Wano, in my opinion. If the raid does fail, I think the Marines will make their way to Wano, and I think the Grand Fleet will make their way to Wano. That's basically it. Okay. I think... Oh, shit. My dog is dumb. He thinks someone knocked at the door. All I did was put my water glass down. Paco, come here. Hey, Paco. Hey. Shh. 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 No. Paco, no. Paco, come here. Hey, come here. Paco, come here. Shh. Shh. Come here. Good boy, come here. No. Oh, I don't want to get up, otherwise you guys will leave. The moment I get up, I lose so many viewers. So I'm being held hostage right now. Kenny Goldberg, what if Yamato is Oden and Luffy is Roger, so Yamato joins the crew temporarily to help find the One Piece? It's just so shallow. Like, Yamato is Oden just because Yamato shows up and says Yamato is Oden. Like, there's just nothing there. Yamato is right now a very surface level, superficial character. I don't even know what that means necessarily, what I'm saying, but, like, you guys get what I'm saying? Like, there's not much to it. Like, a character just showed up and said that they're Oden. What is there to, like, how is that actually paralleling the story of Oden? You know what I mean? Like, first of all, parallels should never be that on the nose, like a character coming up and saying, I am Oden, therefore I will be your Oden. That's so weird, right? Like, that's really weird. So whatever Yamato's story is, there needs to be more to it than that. Blazing Blue, Supmorge, loving the stream. Do you believe Kinemon is actually dead? I believe Kinemon will be getting a little bit more of a death scene. So I think that this was a good start towards Kinemon's death. I think that Kinemon will get a bit more of a death scene devoted to him. I don't think Kinemon is dead just yet. I think we'll get a little bit more out of that. Khalid Rizik, message retracted. Sorry about that. I'm sure it was a golden question. Ankazar Warrior, haven't seen you in a while. Oh, shoot. Scrolled straight past your question. Sorry. Stream loading a little bit. Love the content as always. Thanks a lot, man. The raid on Onigashima feels so alive. How do you think Oda is pulling this off? Lot of setup, lot of characters, a lot of actions, a lot of battles. I mean, there's a lot that we want to see that's happening right now, right? How long have we wanted to see the Supernovas fighting Kaido? Supernovas fighting Big Mom? So just getting stuff like that, it's going to make the raid feel very alive. It's just things that we want to see for a long while. Sanji Boy Dead says, show the dog. Oh, you guys are just sluts for the dog, aren't you? No, I won't. Let's see if he wants to make an appearance. Paco up! Paco up! Come here. Paco up! Paco up! See, I'm not going to go get him, because then everyone will go leave. So if he comes up of his own volition, then sure, you'll get to see him. Rajesh Narayan, thanks a lot. Thoughts on Im, God of the Seas rivalry with Haddad, Son of Dragon, God of Storms. Canaanite lore parallels with One Piece. Better questions coming soon. Someone replace Rajesh. Can someone look into him? Someone replace Rajesh. Can someone check on him? I don't believe this is him. Something has happened. Let me see this. Let me take a quick Google into what you're talking about. Canaanite lore. Ancient Canaanite religion So I'm sorry, I can't give you good answers right now, man, because I don't know what the hell this stuff is. This is the first that I've ever actually heard of it. So I can't give you good answers, but you've given me something to look into at the very least. So I've got this tab open, saved along with um, all my other pornography tabs right here. So I'll be looking into this very soon after the stream. Did ZXO says we will leave if you do not. All right, let me try and convince him to get up. Bacco, up. Come here. Bacco, up. Bacco, up. Bacco, come here. Bacco, come here. Up. Bacco, up. Bacco, up. Bacco, up. Bacco, up. Up. Bacco, up. Come here. Bacco, up. Up. Bacco. Okay, it's not happening. The Bard here says, Morge, what kind of porn tabs are those? It's all One Piece hentai, but not the type you'd expect. That's all I'll say. YP underscore the goat says, Morge fans. Oh yeah, now you guys know my dog's name. I want to bring up the anime openings topic again. Because I don't know what your guys' reactions to that were, because I got a bunch of super chats right after that. Listen, anime openings need to go. I feel like this needs to get out into the ether, and people need to start talking about this. All right? Anytime you get an episode of a show, and you're like, I don't know if I cared for that. Like, that episode, it felt a little low budget. Felt like the animation was not quite as good as we wanted. It just felt like lazily directed. You know why that is? Because they're fucking blowing half their budget for the season on a stupid music video that goes up, like a 2.5 minute long music video that goes out at the start of every episode. Imagine if they used that animation budget and that talent and that effort into just making the actual scenes of the show better. Like, anytime you find a scene of a show that you're like, oh man, they could have done that better. Oh, that was a disappointing fight. That was a disappointing scene. That was just a disappointing way to resolve things. Like, I don't know. Anytime you feel like an anime let you down at a point, that's because they're fucking working. Just having half their team work on the music video. They're like, okay, so we have the actual main story that we need to work on, but we're going to spend like 15% of our time, working on this music video. So that just has to happen. Right? It's like, what if that 15% got used somewhere else? Maybe it gets spread across the whole season. Maybe just 1 to 2 scenes become a lot better. You never know. But instead, you have a music video that you forget about by the time next season rolls around. Because then they've got a new music video. And now that's the music video that they've wasted time on. It's all just music. Like, why are we so supportive of these music videos? Why don't we just want the show to be good? What's the obsession with the music videos? I just don't get it. DS Randomizer, thanks a lot. Gear 5 Theory. What do you think about Luffy's Gear 5 being like Gear 2, in which he would look reddish and all of his attacks are red, like Red Hawk that burns the enemy? So, I guess reminiscent of Ace in a sense. But, I don't know. Like, I prefer, like, the way that, I prefer that the way, like, each gear adds something, like, it works in conjunction with the rubber ability to a degree. So, I don't know if that would be really along the lines of like improving the rubber ability or like using the rubber ability in a new creative way, unless you mean in some way that I'm not really thinking of. The Unlikely says it doesn't work like that. Well, until I understand how it works, that's how I'm going to think about it. All I understand is that there's probably like a team of animators and they have to spend a certain amount of time on the music video, and then they also have to spend a certain amount of time on the show. And if we just cut out the music video, then the show becomes, I don't know, 15-20% better. That's all I'll say. And maybe my opinion's uninformed, but guess what? I prefer to stick with that uninformed opinion. Sanjay Boy Dead, thanks a lot. I asked Teching this question. What culture do you think Sniper Island would have if it's canon? I imagine a mix Mali and Sudanese culture. Sniper Island would have if it's canon. So, Sniper Island, we know that it's in your heart. So what would that mean? Would that be Mali and Sudanese culture? I don't know if that's what lives in your heart. If I had to say, maybe it would be Spanish. You know, Spanish is that it? Spanish? Amor? What's the culture that's most known for love? Maybe it's Spain. Maybe it's Spanish culture. Maybe it's Italy. I'm not sure. Micah Twombly. Are there any small story threads that most people overlook that we'd like to see or expect to be picked back up? Okay, so I could say I think a lot of it's basically character based, right? So I think Tashigi has a significant little character arc that's been brewing in the background. I think that a lot of people shit on her, but I think that she's almost guaranteed at some point to come into her own and actually like be strong as a swordsman and not in a way that she's overshadowed by other characters. But I do think that that is something that is brewing. I think Tashigi is the main minor character arc that I'm interested in seeing come to a resolution. Okay? So Tashigi, beyond that, I don't think there's small, like I'd have to look and think about what small story threads most people overlook. I think Karabo, if you're talking about like plot-wise, then I think Karabo and the information that he has is a really, really big thing that people are ignoring right now. As well as the fact that it sounds like the Kazuki clan are the ones that built Noah. Like it sounds like it's strongly hinted that the Kazuki clans are the masons that like they're very good. They're very good builders, very good architects, things like that. It sounds like they're the ones that built Noah. So I wonder how that's going to come back into play, especially considering the fact that Shirahoshi and Momo both have very similar abilities. Rajesh Naran, better question: was Saul's D bigger than Luffy's? Oh yeah, okay. Rajesh is fine, guys. Calm down. Rajesh is fine. It's the same old Rajesh. We found him. He's okay. Don't need to send out a search party. No one called the police. It's fine. Was Saul's D bigger than Luffy's? Not if Luffy uses Gear Third. Standard Saul, yes. Not if Luffy uses Gear Third, though. Kushin Mukherjee says, important question. Nice try, Kushin. Nice try. Nice try. I'm not actually passionate about the openings. I like One Piece openings a lot, the old school openings back when I watched. It's just because I've become a bitter old man who doesn't watch the anime anymore. So, like, I view it like I have no attachment to the openings anymore because I just know that they happen. I don't actually, you know, like, like know that much about what's happening with the anime openings or what if a good ones come out recently, bad ones come out recently, or anything like that. So I speak more freely in terms of like, hey, why do we even have these things? Why don't you just devote that animation time to other stuff? Odusser says, compared to hours of animation, I don't think 2 minutes in an opening does much. But here's the thing: in openings, they go hard on the animation, so it's not like the equivalent of like 2 minutes of just like general animation. They go hard on those openings. God knows how much time they spend. Who wants to bet that they spend as much time on a full episode of One Piece as they do on an opening? Who wants to bet? I would not be surprised. Is the Red Force podcast in here? Maybe they can enlighten me. Is some animators in here, people with knowledge? I would not be surprised if an anime opening is equivalent to the production effort of a full episode of One Piece, if not more. So just think about that. Happy Hime, thanks a lot. Get the doggo or chat leaves. Listen. Wait, let me see if I can do it. Akko, come here. Hey, come here. Akko, come here. Come. Akko, come here. He is on the couch now, so I might actually be able to do it. Akko, come here. Akko. Akko, come here. Come. Hey. Akko, look. Yeah, come here. Yeah. I lured him. Alright, you guys see him? You guys can see him, right? Hey. Oh. Yeah. Good boy. You guys can see him, right? My chat is delayed, so I can't actually tell if you see him. Or my feed is delayed. He's on camera, right? Oh, he's on camera. He's on camera. Alright. Anyway. Shoot. Did all my viewers leave? No, I got more viewers. Alright, it worked. I should whore him out for... I should... I should invite him onto the stream more often. I think I missed a couple questions. Let me go up. Captain Face, thanks a lot. The one guy really compared Buggy's crew to the Rock Pirate. I'm dead. Hey, look, we all have ideas. Some ideas are less acceptable than other ideas. It's just the way ideas go. Thoughts on Hyogoro calling Gear 4 the Wisdom King? So I've not looked into like the, I guess the lore or spirituality or mysticism, whatever goes behind that sort of thing, right? So I don't actually have extra thoughts on that. I do think it's interesting. I just don't have extra thoughts on that, really. Decagon Fiji, thanks a lot. If Kaido wants to die, just jump in the ocean. No, so it's possible because Kaido has it turns out to be a fish fruit, right? So that actually changes everything in that, like, it sounds like he probably can't be killed by drowning. If he has a fish fruit, then it sounds like he can just survive that. Which is a great way to make that work, to create an unkillable sort of myth, like, while still giving the character a devil fruit, right? So he gets to have a dragon ability while having the survivability underwater of a fish. Just works out pretty well. Khaled Rizk, how did the channel change your relationship with the series? Do you think you would have enjoyed Wano more if you weren't reviewing it weekly? I will need to reread Wano from start to finish. I'll need to reread Wano from start to finish to really know. The thing is that the things that I want from Wano would be standard no matter what. The things that I want from Wano would be standard no matter what. So I can go back and reread, like, I encourage you all, if you're at your computers right now, which many of you probably are, go reread, like, recently I saw One Piece chapter 81. Just go read chapter 81. I feel like you could read chapter 81 from start to finish, and just from reading that one chapter, you could get an understanding of what I feel is missing from Wano that past arcs had. Not past arcs in general, but the best One Piece arcs had that I feel that Wano is missing. And Wano has delivered in many ways. The one area that I love One Piece the most for delivering in, though, is definitely missing in Wano. And I think that wouldn't change regardless of whether or not I was doing reviews. So I would suggest go back and read chapter 81 and see if you can feel a difference between how Oda wrote the story there versus how the story feels right now. And that's all I'll really say. But I'm going to reread Wano from start to finish when all is said and done and come away with my final opinion on it. So, like, there's chapters that I've really, really, really liked in Wano. Right? There's a lot of chapters that I've really, really liked in Wano. There's still an overall sense that something is missing, and that wouldn't go away regardless if I was reviewing weekly or not. However, my relationship with the series has definitely changed, having to do reviews and everything like that weekly, because it does make it a bit more work. I would definitely prefer it if every chapter was not work, because every chapter becomes a review. God knows how people are able to do reactions, because I definitely wouldn't be able to enjoy it if I had to react to every chapter. That turns it into a kind of like work. Sorry, lagging a little bit. AL, thanks a lot. I know power scalings are kind of cringe, but do you think Akainu can beat any of the Yonko based on what we saw in Marineford? Yeah, I mean, I'd give them a solid shot. Like, that's all I really got to say. Yeah, I think just based on, I'd happily give Akainu a shot. I would not say, like, definite either way, or like how things would go either way between him and any of the other Yonko. That's basically it. Die Wordslinger, thanks a lot. Openings are often outsourced to a different studio than the main work. The opening budget would be split between marketing plus production budgets. Thank you, Die Wordslinger, for clearing things up for me. So then why don't they have that other studio also work, like, if you've got the budget to spend, essentially is all I'm saying, on more animation, wherever it's going, some other studio, their studio, etc., whatever studio it's going to. Can it also not be going to... Paco, hey! Can you guys hear that? We're getting some, like, hail right now, which is pretty crazy. Yeah, can that budget not just go towards the normal episode, right? Can you not hire more people for the team? Can these people not, like, just animate an episode? All I know is that there's some budget that's going towards a music video. That's all I know. There's some budget, sometimes some effort being done by people going towards a music video rather than the show. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Dreams, thanks a lot. Yo, love your content. I want to see Sogeking again. Don't we all? Don't we all? I don't know if Sogeking's making another appearance in the series. It's possible that that Usopp's just grown out of that. He's grown past that, and Perona was the last battle that he would need Sogeking for. But it's not necessarily the case. Like, if Oda can bring Sogeking back one more time in an interesting way, I think that'd be great. Ishwar Naveen, thanks a lot. Does it say anything that Kaido instantly went into his hybrid form against Yamato? It makes me wonder how much of a threat she actually is. It might just mean Kaido's mad. That's honestly all it might mean. Yamato is a little hard to scale at the moment because, for instance, we saw her fighting evenly with Luffy for like a little bit, and she wasn't really pressed. But Luffy wasn't like in Gear 4th, and Luffy hadn't unlocked his advanced conquerors or anything yet, right? Then we also saw Yamato going about even with ulti for a little bit. So those are two very different sort of. Although ulti is portrayed to be very strong, so would Kaido necessarily need to go hybrid form right away against her? I don't know. But is he probably angry and just wants to do it for the sake of doing it? I would bet so. So we'll find out. Condiment Man says, do you have Gaimon hentai? Ban this man, he knows too much. Montel Bandit says, Usopp Conqueror's Sniper King. Sanji Conqueror confirmed. I don't think Sanji's got Conqueror's haki. Sorry to disappoint. Horror MRG says, we don't know what the transformation of hers is. And that's a good point. I do think that Yamato, the next time we see her, might already be in her full hybrid form. I do believe that it's White Tiger and everything like that. So I think that we are going to see Yamato in White Tiger form maybe the next time we see her. I would like to see her transform into it. I think that'd be cool. But I wouldn't be surprised, I'm saying, if the next time we cut to Yamato, we just see her already in hybrid form. Phantom SSJ, thanks a lot. That's not hail, it's angry fans throwing rocks at the final villain of One Piece for killing a beloved straw at Mortgage. I think that's probably well deserved. Moaz Abasi says, do you think Shiki will play a role in the story? I don't think so. I've mentioned this before, but I think the way that Shiki was talked about when Sengoku's running down the Rocks lineup sounds to me as though he's not as significant as a lot of the fandom believes him to be. Like, he was a significant pirate back in the day, but not like the tippy top of the top tier pirates that need to be mentioned, essentially. I think just the fact that he happened to get a movie surrounding him really warped people's perceptions of how big of a deal Shiki was back then. Like, he was probably just under that top rung of important pirates back in the day. Don Pro, thanks a lot. Hey, Morge, love the stream as always. Are you going to be doing a stream or anything for the Chainsaw Man PV coming out on the 27th of this month? Please. Okay. I really do want to do Chainsaw Man content. I'm at a bit of a crossroads, which is essentially, I'm not at that much of a crossroads. Because I have a second channel coming out. It will not be about Chainsaw Man. It will not be about manga in general. But at the same time, I have this current channel, and I would like to be able to talk about a little more than just One Piece, but I also really like talking about One Piece. So it's kind of one of those things where, like, so too many topics, too little time. Kind of got to pick and choose what you want to talk about. But at the same time, I look at Ohara. He's having a great time talking about Jujutsu Kaisen. He's really gotten that going off. I would love to be able to do something similar for Chainsaw Man. So maybe I'll test the waters. Maybe I will do a little stream for the Chainsaw Man preview coming out on the 27th. That is a really good idea, Don Pro. I think I'll do it. Maybe I'll do a stream that day. I might be out of town that day, so it depends if I'll be able to have a good stream setup and everything like that at that point in time. But I will strongly consider it. I'll give you guys a heads up if it's happening. But thank you for giving me that idea. Shouts to Don Pro. Jake Jones, thanks a lot. Usopp getting Conqueror's haki would make me so happy you could make 50 videos about it so the word spreads and word goes to Oda. I love your stuff. I don't think that's how Oda works, man. I don't think he's like, oh, I heard a lot of good ideas, so I'm going to run with it. But I do think that Usopp could get Conqueror's haki. Based on his own kind of way of foreshadowing his own future experiences, right? Usopp has mentioned, I believe, that he has Conqueror's haki. Big Melon says, Morge weed review. It is not about weed. I'm not making a full channel about weed. Also, I'm a very ignorant smoker. So a lot of smokers know, like, a lot of the... they know exactly what strains they like. They know exactly what parts of the plant are the best, etc. I'm a very ignorant smoker. It was like this year that I finally learned like the difference between indica and sativa, and I've been smoking for a while. I would always just take what I get. Like, all right, this is solid. So no, if I did a weed review channel, it would end in failure almost immediately. I'd be like, I like this. Can I tell you anything about it? No. Please subscribe. Comment if you want another video like this. But I do think that Usopp getting Conqueror's haki, if it happens, it could happen like at the very end of his storyline, essentially. Maybe preceding his heroic sacrifice. It would be a good moment for it to bloom or something along those lines. Nintendo Power, thanks a lot. Chapter 1000 is the Chapter 81 equivalent you're looking for. It's not even close, dude. It has the same impetus where the victimized plead to Luffy and crew's allies to take the stage for the fight. Yes, but the feeling, like, just read Chapter 81 from start to finish and actually tell me if you think that the feelings that you get from Chapter 1000 are anywhere close, or that Oda wrote anywhere near as visceral a reaction for Luffy, or just a more by the book kind of running through the motions kind of reaction. If you think that the connection that Oda wrote through Nami is anywhere close to Luffy and Kinemon, if you think that even just the motivations that Oda wrote in, or the empathy that Oda wrote in surrounding Nami is anywhere close to the Scabbards that we have right now, especially considering the Scabbards were barely side characters in Oden's backstory. The Oden backstory barely focused on the Scabbards, so it actually did not do that much to build up the empathy for the Scabbards compared to Nami's storyline. Like, are you telling me right now that you think that the Scabbards, you cried for the Scabbards during Oden's storyline, for the Scabbards during Oden's storyline, the same way that you cried for Nami during her backstory? Like, did you cry for the Scabbards during their backstory the same way you cried for Nami? If you're telling me that, then that's, your subjective view. You cried for the Scabbards or whatever. But I think that most people did not. I think that's reflected in things as simple as popularity polls and the fact that the Scabbards are not factually that popular characters. And even just like, you can't tell me that Luffy's connection with Kinemon or the motivation that Luffy had going into Chapter 1000 is anywhere close to the reaction that Luffy had in Chapter 81. You can't tell me that Nami's help me moment is even close to anything that has happened that the Scabbards have done with Luffy throughout this arc whatsoever. Like, you can look at just the state of the people of Wano. I felt infinitely more for the villagers of Nami's village in Chapter 81, and because we knew them and we had seen them experience that backstory, I felt infinitely more for them than all of the people of Wano combined. Seeing a lot of no's. So, that's all I'm saying. Rajesh Narayan says, I think Vivi will get the Niku Niku no Mi. What about you? I don't think so. I don't think Vivi's getting a devil fruit. I think Vivi, like, I don't know if that's a serious question or not, but I think that Vivi, I think her, like, leadership is really her only strength that she needs, and I think that Oda wrote in that character to kind of give us the example of a model leader. It's fine if you were moved by Oden. I was moved by Oden. I thought Oden had a great death. But Oden's not here. Oden's not here. Like, the Scabbards, we had very little connection built up during Oden's backstory because they were barely present in Oden's backstory. We got a single panel to show each Scabbard's bond with Oden. Obviously, Kinemon a little different. We got a little more time for Kinemon. We got a chapter devoted for Kinemon. But the Scabbards, we got a like 962 breezed through Oden meeting up with the Scabbards. Like, Nami and Bellamir's connection was so much more vivid, so much more real, so much, like, over the few chapters that we got to see Nami and Bellamir, there was infinitely more emotion built into that dynamic than Oden and the Scabbards. Because, like, you can go back and read Oden's backstory. We really did not see that much between Oden and the Scabbards. It was really an Oden-centric backstory. Nintendo Power says it really is the same thing. We had Kinemon with us longer than Nami. Dude, it's not about length. Like, you can have Kinemon could have been with the Strides for every single chapter of the New World, and it still would not have been, if you actually genuinely believe that, like, we've gotten the same moments bonding Kinemon and Luffy as we had Nami and Luffy over the course of East Blue. Like, it's not about length. Like, it's not just like ticking off a box like, well, Kinemon has been here like 20 chapters, therefore the bond is greater. That's not how you measure things, right? It's not like you can have. Like, I would argue that just from Orange Town alone, Luffy's bond with Nami meant more than anything that Kinemon and Luffy have been through so far. And I like Kinemon. But if at this point you're even admitting, like, the emotion isn't as high due to the scope of the world, but the formula is the same. That's what I'm talking about. The formula can be close, but if it's not hitting that same emotion, then something is missing, right? Something is missing. So if you're acknowledging that something is missing, then I'm just saying that that's what I value One Piece for. The emotion that it can bring out of me. The emotion that this story can bring out of me. So if that's missing, then I like to believe that Oda has more in store for us, because I still believe he's that writer. But at a certain point, like, bigger doesn't mean better. Just because the scope of the world is bigger. You guys hear this? So we have a flash flood warning. There's quite a storm going out. But yeah, that's all I'm saying. Like, the scope of the world can be bigger, but if there's no heart at the center of it, then something is missing. Jake Jones, thanks a lot. Okay, the Oda thing might have just been an excuse for 50 sub videos. I'd watch the hell out of everyone. Scabbards live. No, I'm not trying to shit on Scabbards. I actually really like the Scabbards. I'm talking about the connection that we feel. Do we feel that every Straw Hat has a bond with the Scabbards as tight as what we felt with Arlong Park and Nami? Again, the energy of the walk to Arlong Park, is that there here? No. No, it's okay. Like, I'm not trying to be like, oh, this is like something crazy. I'm indoors in a nice row home. Like, nothing crazy is happening. Like, this is not the first time that, like, there's been a flash flood warning or something. Like, it's not common, but, like, it's not something crazy. And Nintendo, I'm sorry if I, like, went hard there or something like that. Like, it's just, you know, I'm streaming, like, as you're bringing up reasons and stuff, that's making me think a little bit more about, like my own thoughts. So my own thoughts are kind of, like, coming, like, my own thoughts are kind of, like, taking shape as I'm talking to you. So I'm getting more emotional as I'm talking to you because, like, this is the first time that I'm expressing certain thoughts, right? So this is nothing against you. I'm happy that, like, you're bringing up counterpoints and stuff like that. So nothing against you or anything like that. But, like, I am now more heated thinking, like, basically, like, why is it that I felt more out of that one chapter of Arlong Park, which is a very short arc, nowhere near the scope instead of Wano? Why is it that I felt more from that than from any other chapter in Wano, which is this huge finale that we've been working towards? That's basically it. Rajesh Narayan, thanks a lot. Serious, the only two numbers missing from the Straw Hats Devil Fruits are Nikyu. Okay, so I know this theory that you're talking about, and it is a really interesting theory. I just don't know if Kuma is going to be getting, if Vivi is going to be getting Kuma's fruit. I think that it is a very interesting idea that, like, the Kuma Devil Fruit can make its way over to the Straw Hat crew. So what Rajesh is talking about here is that all of the Straw Hat's numbers relate to certain things, Devil Fruits relate to certain numbers in Japanese. So Luffy is Gomu, so that's 5, 6. Chopper is Hito, so I think that's 1. Okay, I'm a little bad at this. I know Robin is Hana, so I think that's 8 and I should not have gotten into this before reviewing my numbers. The numbers match up, okay? So we're going through the digits, all right? The numbers match up, all right? That's all I'm saying. The numbers match up, and the two numbers that are missing are Nikyu. That's all I've got, basically. So I do think that there is a fair argument to say that it could be Kuma or Kuma's Devil Fruit that ends up making its way over to the Straw Hat crew. There's an argument for it being Kuma himself if Kuma is somehow restored. I don't know if we've seen the last of Kuma in the series in general. But there's also this argument I've seen. Someone explained to me that the Yuki no Mi, so the Snow fruit, what Monet had, which a fruit that has gone missing, by the way, the Yuki no Mi is supposedly close enough to the numbers 2, 9, similar to Nikyu, so Nikyu, Yuki instead, that it could actually be the Snow fruit instead. So there's food for thought. Don't know about that, though. Ninerbot, thanks a lot. Best One Piece opening. I liked We Are, and I liked one, maybe it was an Enies Lobby one. But I liked a lot of the openings back in my day when I watched. It's just that I don't remember them off the top of my head anymore. I like Crazy Rainbow Star. Who remembered that? Who remembers Crazy Rainbow Star? The Pirate Hero says Rajesh a real one all of a sudden. Yeah, Rajesh has really done a real about turn. Monkey D. Ben, do you consider One Piece a top tier of romanticism writing? It's different because, like, if I look up, like, actual romanticism writing, like, it played it really straight, right? Like, like, One Piece it has too many modern, I guess, it's got too much of an infusion of modern cartooniness and, like, just gag, like, the style of it is a little more whimsical and more, what do you call? Yeah, just much more whimsical, much more modern for me to say that it's, like, actually, like, it's the story is heavily steeped in romance, like the classical version of romance, but, like, it's not that, like, I wouldn't put it into that category of writing, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't put it into that genre. Ice, okay, thanks a lot. Thoughts on an arc centered around Nami where she navigates the straws to the moon and creates the world map looking down on Earth from the moon? I can't think of another way she does her dream. Ooh, that's actually really cool. Creating a world map looking down on Earth from the moon. That would be really, really, really cool. I think it would kind of be a weird shortcut to getting to that point where she's got that world map. I do think Nami navigates the straws to the moon, mirroring kind of what happened in Skypiea. I've talked about that in the Straw Hat Endgame series. I definitely recommend checking out the first batch of that where I talk about Luffy, Zoro, and Nami, how I think that their stories will end. But I do think at the very least that she will have completed enough of the Grand Line. Do people not like Crazy Crazy Rainbow Star? Maybe I just remember it because it's got such a such a weird phrase, like Crazy Crazy Rainbow Star. Maybe that's just why I remember it. I remember that there were some One Piece openings that I really, really loved, though, that I would just listen to. But I do have a theory that she has made a map of the Grand Line to the point that, like, if they needed to quickly travel from point A to point B in the Grand Line, like get all the way back to Marijoa, then they could do that very quickly. So effectively, she's created for the Straw Hats a very practical map of the world that will come into play. Ice, okay. Oh wait, no, we just talked to you. Get out of here. Sorry, just kidding. Don't stay, please. Sharkman RF24. Why does Kaido say Wano is special? Question mark. Thoughts. I hate when people give me not hate. Don't hate you. I hate more so for myself when people give me questions that are really good questions that I don't have a good answer to. I like to think that for a lot of questions I do have at least an interesting answer. I like to think. I don't have a good theory of why Wano is special right now. The best thing that I know of that people have mentioned, not me, so not me originally, but something I've seen people mention is that Wano might be the name of the Ancient Kingdom. The Ancient Kingdom might have just been Wano all along, and that we might just be here. I don't personally buy that, but that's one of the first interesting things that I've seen suggested about Wano. Nintendo Power, thanks a lot. Nothing's missing. It's just been done enough times that it's become formulaic. Robin, Sanji, etc. Kinemon has a specific connection to Luffy that Oda leverage. It's the same narrative structure. It's not about the same narrative structure, though. It's not about the same narrative structure, and Oda definitely did not put in the same time between the Luffy-Kinemon connection as Oda did with like the Luffy-Nami connection. That's just not there. And even when you're talking about Robin, I would argue that like maybe the Robin connection with Luffy was always a little different. Like they never quite placed how her dynamic was with the crew. But the storyline of Water 7 that got them really invested in protecting Robin and got Luffy really invested in getting Robin back and what that meant for him as a captain, what he's doing for a crewmate, that meant a lot. A lot more than like Luffy just happening to have Kinemon on board his crew for an extended period of time. Like you're talking about checking off boxes. That's not what makes storytelling great or not, right? So Oda has checked off a box. Yes, there's some characters that Luffy's been around a while. But when Luffy tells Kaido, like, what are you talking about? We love the samurai. That's nowhere close to Luffy, like, yelling up at Robin saying, say you want to live. That's nowhere close to the Luffy and Nami scenario of, like, help me, and Luffy yelling, of course I will. That's nowhere close to the fury Luffy had walking up to Arlong Park, or the reaction Luffy had when he's in Nami's room and breaking everything. It's not about if, like, technically some things are similar. It's, is there depth to the emotion that Oda is weaving into the story? Like, is there substance to it? Is there weight to it? Or is this technically just checking off a box that, like, oh yeah, there is somebody that Luffy likes in the story? Like, again, just go back to comparing, like, Luffy saying, like, what are you talking about? We love the samurai. To actual, powerful, visceral, emotional moments from Luffy throughout the series when he's fighting for something he really loves and cares about. It's just different. There's, like, a lot missing, actually. Ninerbot, thanks a lot. You need to do a Sanji analysis vid. Your Zoro bias is showing. I will do a Sanji analysis vid. I'll do a Sanji analysis vid. I'm down to do that. I might make that my next vid. I'm down to do a Sanji analysis. It's kind of just like I did a Zoro vid because Zoro's kind of having his moment in the spotlight. I just hit 100K. I want to do a video that I thought would appeal to a lot of people. Yeah, Maras00 Jr. says One Piece is more absurdist, like Discworld. I definitely think that that's correct. Like, it's not, it doesn't fit with, like, romantic literature in that sense. Nonsense Snap, thanks a lot. Do you think Science people will show up to Wano because we know they were in a war with a country using those weapons from Wano? I think that the Grand Fleet will show up, but again, only if the raid fails, you know? Get Ezequiel de Flores. Nami will use Zeus as a broomstick to fly. I'm calling it. That'll be interesting. That'll be interesting. For the record, I'm not trying to shit on Wano. I need to read Wano from start to finish to collect my thoughts on it. I'm just saying that, like, you can compare to the moments that really got most people, I think most people would acknowledge as the heights of One Piece emotion. I do not believe right now that most people would say that, like, the heights of One Piece emotion have been hit in Wano. Like, hype is one thing. I think we've gotten a lot of hype moments from Wano. But I don't read One Piece just for the hype. I do read it for moments like Help Me. I do read it for moments like I Want to Live. I do read it for moments like Nothing Happened. Like, well, Nothing Happens maybe a little different from that, but like even just Ace's death. Like, I do read it for the emotional highs that we get out of it. And that is just something that's like there's a certain level of frenzy or focus or drive or like just raw fury that Oda is able to bring out in the main characters that like through what they want, like through really making us feel that they really, really want to fight for something very special to them, right? Like there's just this raw fury, raw anger, raw determination that comes out, and you know when it comes out. Like you've seen the arcs where it's there, and if you compare the chapters in Wano, there's not a single chapter in Wano that you're gonna find like, yeah, Luffy's determined in his fight with Kaido, but it's not that much stemming from like the scabbards. Like like you can even read the chapters where they approach Wano, get to Wano and stuff. The energy is very, very, very different from the finale of Arlong Park, the finale of Alabasta, the finale of Enies Lobby. It's a very, very, very different energy. Luffy is intent on beating Kaido because Luffy wants to beat Kaido, but Luffy was intent on beating Arlong because, like, in his from from every fiber of his being, all he wanted in that moment was to make this guy experience absolute hell for what he did to his crewmate. And that's a very, very, very different scenario. And that makes for a very, very different sense of just finality, power, climax to that entire story. Like, just read that interaction between Luffy and Arlong in Nami's room, and try to imagine Luffy having anything like what? He's going to find Kinemon's broken sword and be like have that same reaction whatsoever with Kaido? Not even close. Of course not. Dialer Cruz, thanks a lot. The reason Wano feels lesser than Chapter 81 is because Oda front-loaded our hate onto Orochi and not Kaido. Kaido is more interesting than loathsome. I don't think that's the reason. I do think Orochi is a more hateable villain. Nanarbot, thanks a lot. Thoughts on how Chainsaw Man ended? I was worried about Chainsaw Man's ending because it felt like it would have a lot of unresolved ties, but it's got a part 2 coming. So because it's got a part 2 coming, the way it ended was perfect because it capped off the arc that we were focused on. It capped off the arc that we were focused on very well, and it set us up for part 2 very well, where it can pick up all of the loose ties that it did not pick up on. The pirate hero says, nah man, I sort of agree. If the raid doesn't fail, I'll sort of be annoyed at the scabbards for taking away from the Straw's narrative focus of this arc. Like, I don't need you guys to agree or disagree, and I'm not trying to sway opinions on Wano here. You can still think Wano is the best arc in One Piece, right? Regardless of what I say. Like, what do I know? You can think Wano is the best arc in One Piece. I'm just saying that I feel that, like, I do think a lot of people would agree that at least in certain regards, for example, the emotional highs in terms of, like, did this part make you cry? Did this part make you feel like we've seen Luffy in a furious state like we've never seen him before? Did this part make you feel like the Straws have snapped in a way that we've never seen before? Those are things that I think other arcs have done better, right? And I think that those are areas that I personally care a lot about, and I think that those are things that we have not quite seen in Wano. So, like, I don't think Wano is an arc that has it all. Like, it can have the really hype moments, but I think it's missing certain other areas. Those are areas that I happen to personally care a lot about. Maybe I will feel different when I reread from start to finish, and maybe you don't care as much about those parts. So maybe Wano is the best arc in the series for you, and that's perfectly valid, and you can make an argument for that. But I just don't like the mentality that, like, we have to pretend like Wano is hit it out of the park in everything. Because, like, again, I can read Chapter 81, and it's apparent to me that there is a lot that earlier One Piece had that Wano does not have to that same level. Miraz Zero Jr., thanks a lot. What do you think about Yasuo's death? I liked Yasuo's death at the time it happened. I definitely liked Yasuo's death at the time it happened. I would say that and Odin's death are my two favorite points in Wano. Do I think it's, like, close to, like, do I think it's very disconnected from, like, the current point that we are at the story? Yeah, for sure. I don't think that the Straw Hats, like Like, when was the last time Yasuo's death was mentioned? Period. Like, I don't think that's like a driving force for them right now, or at least hasn't manifested as a driving force. Edwin Rodriguez says Yamato's backstory might lead to that moment. Yamato might be similar to Law and Dressrosa. Oda might have added that last minute after the Odin flashback. I would be totally cool with it. I'm not saying that that sort of stuff isn't going to come. I'm just saying, like, at this moment, do I feel like it's there? I don't think so. Shin Ho Wong says, I doubt Moge cries in Wano arc. If so, it's Croc tears. I cried, let me think. Last time I cried in One Piece, teared up. Last time I teared up in One Piece, like, I'm not a person who's like, oh, when I'm reading, like, I don't tear up or I don't cry or anything. Last time I teared up in One Piece was Yasuo's flashback. Or not Yasuo's flashback, Yasuo's death. I was emotionally moved by that. So, like, I'm not, like, sitting here being like, oh, I'm reading each page with just, like, a cold, indifferent attitude. Like, if something hits me emotionally, it will affect me emotionally. I think actually in general, in fiction, it's actually easier for fictional things to make me tear up and cry than like real life things. Weirdly enough, like I find it much easier to cry like watching like an episode of something that's really really sad than something in real life. I don't know, like maybe a mental block or something like that for me. Even if I feel that same way inside in real life, like it's harder for me to tear up over that. Whereas if I'm watching a really emotional episode, then I will tear up. I think Yasuo's death is the last time that I really got emotional in One Piece. Like, it wasn't huge. Like, if I read Robin's flashback, I'm just going to cry. When I read Nami's flashback, I just cry. When I read Chopper's flashback, I just cry. Like, it's not like tearing up. I just cry. Especially if I watch those with the anime, music, voice acting, etc. But Yasuo's flashback was definitely emotional for me. Alright, that's a big L for me. They mentioned him in 1016. So they literally mentioned Yasue this chapter. But Otoko mentioned him. So that's not exactly the same. You guys know what I mean, right? It's the protagonist that I'm talking, like the people who are currently, the motivations of the people who are currently fighting, right? Like, are they driven by that the same way that they were driven by Nami in Arlong Park? I don't think so. The way they were driven by Robin in Enies Lobby? I don't think so. Chef Patel, thanks a lot. What do you think the raid tragedy of Act 3 is supposed to be? Oh man, you already know. It's supposed the raid failing. To me, it's the raid failing. Raid failing, death of maybe killer. You know, that's what I threw out there. But I definitely think it's the raid failing. I think it's just a big defeat. Are you new? You new around here? Nonsense Snap, thanks a lot. What do you think Kanjuro did with Yasuo's body? What do I think Kanjuro did with Yasuo's body? Ooh, that's a great question. I have no idea. No, didn't he say he wanted him for brush? A new brush? Something along those lines? That'd be interesting if we actually got to see that. Who thinks Kanjuro is dead, by the way? Who's on board with Kanjuro being dead? No, I liked Yasuo's death. I thought Yasuo's death was very well done. I think that, like, some people didn't like Yasuo's death because we didn't see the connection between Yasuo and the characters as much, or he wasn't around as long. But for me, Yasuo's death, it kind of reminded me of Senor Pink in that this was like a side character that we didn't think much of for a long time. And we like in a single chapter, Oda suddenly fleshed him out and added so many more dimensions to him that it made us, like, it turned him into a very tragic figure, from initially a very simple one-dimensional figure into like a very noble tragic figure that it actually hurt me to see go. Like, I really liked Yasuo's death. It's just that, do I still feel that the impact of that in the current story? No, like it's very far removed. I don't think Luffy thinks about Yasuo's death, or it even affects him in anything in any sense. Did the going merry burning make you cry? I'm gonna address that in a second because that's actually like an interesting thing. That people might be a little surprised. I'll just say it right now. Going Mary's death, this is gonna sound so bad. You have to understand when I was catching up to One Piece, I was a very young anime viewer. The episodes were actually like coming out as like I caught up to Enies Lobby as the episodes were coming out weekly. You understand? So it was hard to find episodes initially because like they were literally coming out as I was watching. So and back then there weren't like as easy to find resources to find the episodes. So I did this weird mishmash thing. Like I got to the end of Enies Lobby and like I'd caught up on the weekly episodes. I couldn't wait for more episodes to come out. I wanted to see how Luffy beats Lucci. So I started like skipping ahead, reading the manga chapters. I did this weird back and forth thing of like I'd read some manga chapters, then go back, wait for an episode, go ahead, read some manga chapters, go back, wait for an episode. In the process, I missed the Going Mary's funeral. I missed that entire scene first time around reading One Piece. I just missed that whole thing. I found out about it later. You kind of see it in flashbacks of other episodes, so I found out about it later. I didn't realize it's a very emotional scene. Also, I was very young at the time. I was like in early middle school or mid-middle school, something like that. So Going Merry flashback, I don't hear, because like in my first watch through of the series, it wasn't really like I didn't get it in the flow of the story. I kind of found out about it later on through flashbacks and stuff. And sure, since then, like I've gone back and like watched other stuff, right? Like I've watched that since then and stuff, and that is a sad scene for sure. But I feel like it would have affected me way more if I'd gotten to see it in the flow of the story. Like I watched the next episode right after watching the Straw Hats Escape Enies Lobby. It's the Mary's funeral, stuff like that. But this was just like a weird one that I kind of just missed. Jeff Brugger, thanks a lot. Oars' title of Continent Puller and the naming of the castle of Marijoa being Pangaea has got to be connected, right? Creation of the Red Line. Sometimes Oda just likes his references for the sake of references. He's like, this would be a cool thing to name this thing after. But sometimes it really does matter, right? Like I feel like Noah is going to be very, very close to Noah's actual arc in terms of what the use comes out of that. So I don't know if Oars' title of Continent Puller is going to be relevant there, but like you could also look at Wano and the structure of Wano and be like, maybe it's going to be relevant here. Maybe this whole thing was pulled together. Pro DLC, thanks a lot. Thoughts on Roger wanted Ace to be Joy Boy, Kaido wants Yamato to be Joy Boy. Oh, Kaido wants Yamato to be Joy Boy. That'd be really cool. Unless Kaido knows that Joy Boy has to be a D, in which case either Kaido's a D or Kaido doesn't know that Joy Boy has to be a D. You know what I mean? But that would be interesting if that's the case. Just to do, thanks a lot. You think Onigashima might successfully land before the tide turns, kind of like Robin getting to the Gates of Justice race on the execution platform? I think Onigashima landing is just kind of too climactic or too like conclusive, right? It just feels too clearly like defeat. But I see what you're saying, like Robin getting to the Gates of Justice or Ace on the execution platform. I see what you're saying. Like lots of times in One Piece arcs, it feels like we pass the point of no return, and then the protagonists still find a way to fight back. Like the Buster Call was never supposed to happen. If the Buster Call happens, then it's all over, right? That was the idea. Similarly, the Alabasta bomb was never supposed to go off. If it goes off, it's all over. But that happened. So I see what you're saying. I do feel like like just the visual of the Onigashima landing might be a little too conclusive. So I do think that if I see people now reacting to the Going Merry thing. I'm sorry, guys. I was a kid. That's just the way things happened, right? Like, that's just the way it happened. I missed that episode. I just missed the episode. I found out about it later because the episodes always have flashbacks and recaps and stuff. So I was like, oh, that's sad that Merry died. But, like, Merry was given a funeral. But, like, I missed the part. I missed the full episode of it happening. It just happened. Like, I've obviously gone back, reread that, watched that, etc., but I missed it in the flow of my initial watch through, so it never quite had that same weight for me as, as it did for a lot of other people. Hi, thanks a lot. I feel like Jinbei has been sending death flags ever since he was asked to join the crew with Big Mom and Wano and escape not shown. Do you think there's something more tragic planned for Jinbei? I would be fine with Jinbei dying. I've come around to like Jinbei. Who remembers when I didn't like Jinbei? Because there was a solid while I did not like Jinbei. I'd be fine with Jinbei dying. I just feel like it's a little too soon. I would rather him actually be with the crew for some period of time and feel like he is a stable part of the roster rather than just kill him off. Because if Oda's gonna kill off a Straw Hat, one, I think it should be Usopp. I think that Jinbei is just a little too noble, too ready to die for it to feel as much. Like Usopp dying means so much because Usopp does not want to die, right? Like Usopp is the biggest coward, so it means the most for his character if he's able to step up and do something like that. But if Jinbei is going to die, my only thing I would like him to be part of the crew for a little while longer. I think he's actually the easiest character for Oda to kill because the character is just so okay with dying. He's so ready to die. He's fine with it. He will know that Luffy will help bring peace to the fishermen and everything like that post-death or whatever. So it's almost too boring. I don't want Jinbei to die because it's almost too boring. But if it has to happen, I hope that he stays with the crew longer so the bonds mean a little more and it has more impact if/when it happens. Ishwarnavin, thanks a lot. I actually hope that Onigashima crashes in the Flower Capital. Luffy needs to realize that when you fight at the top, people are going to get hurt. Someone had a great comment a while back about like if Luffy is beaten by Kaido and it ends with Onigashima coming to touch down in the Flower Capital, why that could be so effective symbolically, because When Luffy is fighting Kaido at the rooftop and everything like that, the island is high in the sky. Someone had this comment. It was in my YouTube video. I should have saved it and cited this person. I'm sorry. When Luffy is fighting Kaido high up in the skies and everything like that, Luffy feels like he's on top of the world. He's fighting up there with the best. Luffy being defeated with Onigashima literally coming to touchdown in the Flower Capital would literally be being brought back down to reality, right? Like flying too close to the sun, being brought back down to Earth. It would be a really, really strong moment, I think. Dallas Cisco, thanks a lot. To fight back because they regretted not helping Odin when they found out about his sacrifice. What do you think? I don't know what the context of this is. To fight back because they regretted not helping Odin when they found out about his sacrifice. Are you talking about like the red-haired pirates or someone showing up? The white-beard pirates showing up? I'm sorry, I think I missed a part of your comment or something. To fight back because they regretted not helping Odin. I don't know if the rest of the Whitebeard pirates are going to show. I'm just going to assume that's what it's about. I don't know if the rest of the Whitebeard pirates are going to show up. Marco might just be enough. But the whole Odin situation, why Whitebeard didn't come to help. I mean, there's different reasons you can have for it. I think it's valid that like it would be starting a war, whereas like going to save Ace was more so like just trying to save someone who's still alive. Like they didn't know what happened to Odin until after it happened with Odin, and that's very different. That's going for revenge as opposed to trying to save someone. Sharkman RF24. Could Lafto be in the center of the Earth, not on the moon? Inspired by Journey to the Center of the Earth, they haven't explored subterranean yet. That's an interesting theory. Sharkman RF24 is slowly working his way back from the initial theory he posed about Luffy fathering a child with Makino, which was just one of the wildest theories to start off with I've ever seen. I think that Raftel is most likely on the moon just because it's a more fantastical location, but you are right that the subterranean is not an area that they've explored, and I wouldn't be surprised if something like maybe the Emerald City is underground or something like that. That's a really good possibility. Dr. Farewell, thanks a lot. No, we already talked. No, Kaido thought Ace was Joy Boy and was on his way to Marineford to either save Ace or fight him, but was stopped by Shanks. That's a really good theory. I like that one. I do also just prefer the more straightforward idea, which fits with Kaido's character, that he wanted to get one last fight in with Whitebeard before Whitebeard essentially died. I think that that's just the more straightforward route. Kind of just makes sense for everything we know about Kaido. But I still, now that we know that Kaido, there's more to Kaido, that Kaido's thinking about a lot more big picture things. He knows about Joy Boy. He knows a lot about history. He understands why Wano is special. There's something he's waiting for. I would not be surprised if that's all true. The Pirate Hero says, Morge, I was legitimately modding this stream. All other mods left after the rebellion, but I was busy watching Gintama, so I missed it. Did all the mods leave? Do we have no mods right now but the Pirate Hero? God help us. Thank God you were watching Gintama, man. I didn't know there was a whole ass mod rebellion. Thank you for alerting me to that fact. Oh my God. Thanks, the Pirate Hero, for covering for everybody. You're really keeping this chat alive. I appreciate it. I knew I wasn't crazy when I modded you, even though you had me questioning some things at first. Swagbagger, I recently watched your videos in the past month, and I love all the content. I started watching One Piece the first week in December and got caught up the first week of February. Thanks for donating. Just tell me that. I'm happy that you've enjoyed my videos a lot. More good videos to come. And I love hearing like when people start One Piece like in December or something and then they're caught up 2 months later, because that just shows how addicting a series this is. I will swear till the end of time that One Piece is the most bingeable series. No, maybe it's not the most. I think once you get past a certain point in One Piece, it becomes the most bingeable series. You just can't stop because it just keeps growing and growing, and there's more and more and more and more and more. I could understand like, people, if they hit Skypiea, they feel like it's wandering a little bit, it's not getting to the juicy stuff. I think once you're at the Sabaody section onwards, I think you just can't stop reading One Piece, in my opinion. I think that's about right? Like, once you get to the Sabaody stuff, I think it's just impossible to stop reading One Piece. Not to say some people don't lose interest, but I have a hard time imagining how many people, like, what percentage of people is that? Like, 2%? I don't know. Nonsense Snap, you think Luffy gonna have an Iron Man moment holding up Onigashima like Iron Man held up the country in Avengers 2? I don't think Iron Man ever did hold up that country in Avengers 2. Am I wrong about that? I don't think he ever did hold it. I know what you're talking about. The whole country's falling. But no, I think that's more likely Momonosuke's job. You know what I mean? Fits better for him a little bit. Now I'm a little worried. Are there legitimately no mods? Are the mods legitimately rebelling? Is it literally just the pirate hero? If it's just the pirate hero, then we're screwed. Then we're just screwed. We have all these people I don't know who to trust. Peter Falk says I'll mod. I'm Rain20 says I'll be a mod. How do I know that these people aren't like psychopaths? I can't trust anyone. Though to be fair, most of the mods that I initially made were just random people who I'd be like, hey, first person to answer this question gets to be a mod, and it's just some random person who answers the question and they become a mod. Later on, it became pay to mod, my favorite system, and now it's random draft to mod. I don't know. Look, if I feel like there's a problem with the chat, then we'll be throwing some more mods, all right? The best thing about mods is you can always make more of them. Dallas Cisco, thanks a lot. No, like the citizens of Wano helping in the fight when Onigashima lands in the flower capital. I see what you're saying. Yeah, I'd be on board with that. I like the idea of the citizens of the flower capital fighting, because right now, what the hell are they doing? All these samurai are fighting for your lives, and like, they're fighting to save you. You guys are just chilling, enjoying the fire festival. So I would love to see that. The mod rebellion ended in failure. Yeah, I don't think... Listen, mods. I love you guys. But I'll also replace you if needed. There's always another mod. I feel like I could be an okay mod if I took it on myself to ban people. I don't think I have it in me, though. Tomas Wireclock says, don't mod me. Tomas is pretty clever. Make some more clever comments like that, I might just mod you. Yeah, I'm on board, though, Dallas. That's a good idea. Oh, is Alexandre here? Omar Goskin's here? Oh, man, this is like the mods coming out of the woodworks to show that they've got my back. Like, you have my hammer and my axe. I think I am going to call the stream in about 10 minutes. No, Alexandre Casagrande, you're not expendable. You're just replaceable. I think that's different, right? I don't know. Maybe means roughly the same thing. Alexandre Casagrande says, you modded me because I said that Skypiea is the best One Piece arc. Yeah, I used to mod people for the most random shit. I used to mod people for the most random shit. The original Luffy says, make me a mod. The original Luffy has not spoken a word in chat for, probably a year. He speaks up right now to ask to be made a mod. He's already a mod. I swear, I've not seen you say a thing in chat for, at least 5 months. At least 5 months. Masuyuzo G, I butchered your name, but that's good enough. Mod application, hashtag trustworthy. Masuyo G, you think that Masuyo G, are you new to my chat? Do you think that this is anywhere near the level of pay to mod that you need to hit before you can actually be considered for mod status? This isn't the days of just saying, hey, Skypiea is my favorite arc and I mod you. Things have changed. Becoming a mod's fucking expensive nowadays. It's an expensive endeavor, I'll say that. Where's Princess Taco? If Princess Taco shows her face again, assuming it's a her, you never know with people. If Princess Taco shows her face again, I'm going to mod her before I forget. Now that I'm thinking about long-time members of the chat. Bennett Rogers, thanks a lot. Morge, what will happen? Bennett Rogers, you gotta post the full question. Bennett Rogers, you need the full question. People are chanting mods' rights. Listen, mods don't have rights. I barely have rights. Alright? Mods don't have rights. Omar Gaskin says, we've grown. This is 100k plus, Morge. Yeah, things have changed. I want to answer Bennett Rogers' question, but he only asked Morge what will happen. I can give you a general gist of things. I think the raid will fail. What, is Princess Taco in here? I'm asking the pirate hero. Princess Taco's in here. Next time I see her face, I'll just mod her. Toilet PK says, if someone asks for mod again, I'm going to ban you right now on site. Toilet PK has the mod mentality. Mahimil01 says, mod me for more genius puns. I love stream Morge. That was a funny one, man. I like that. I think I'm gonna... Let's not... Guys, no more super chats, please. If you find Bennett Rogers commenting a question, shout it out for me so I can answer that question, because I feel like he forgot to ask the rest of his question. Red Haired Ace, you're gonna be the last super chat, guys. For real, no more super chats because I'm gonna wind down the stream now. So probably 5 more minutes. So I'm just gonna answer random stuff. Rickon, thanks a lot. Morge, I've been filling your pockets. Mod me, please. Rickon, this is the first time I've seen your face. Red Haired Ace, my sister started OP last May. She binged it until just after the time skip, then spent October to May. Oh no, Red Haired Ace is disproving the idea that One Piece is you can't stop binging it. I don't know. Maybe the anime might make you lose steam a little bit. So I don't know if she's a manga viewer or an anime viewer because the anime can get slow. Tell her to watch One Piece. If she's an anime viewer, tell her to watch One Piece. Tell her to watch One Piece. It'll make it much easier. Just in general, guys, if you're anime viewers who want to like rewatch old episodes, try One Piece. Shiv Patel, you're the last person who I'm talking to. Will you continue the Marineford analysis series? Yes, that is the video that I most want to do. But it's also... Pirate Hero says you missed Princess Taco's super chat. Pirate Hero, what was Princess Taco's super chat? Can you help me out? Sorry, I missed it. Marineford analysis, I will definitely do. Princess Taco is present. Alright, let's find her. Let's mod her. Can you guys mod her? Oh, Princess Taco. Found her. There we go. Alright, now I don't need to find her super chat because she's now a mod. One Piece is a great way to... What do you call? Just watch the series and, not get bogged down with all the filler, I guess. It's still the same old One Piece anime. No canon content is being cut. What do you call? It's just like how you would want the anime to be. Sure, the animation's not quite the best in certain spots, but it's just a good. It feels like the right way to watch the series past a certain point. I think they did a really good job with the fan cuts for it. Yeah, let Princess Taco be an inspiration for you all. There is a path to mod. It's just pay to mod. That's all it is. It's just pay to mod. Unless you're Rajesh. I'll even make Rajesh a mod at some point. Even Rajesh will get to be a mod at some point. But I'm definitely going to hold out for a while because he's a menace. No, but even Rajesh will be a mod. Maybe next time. Next time, if Rajesh is in chat, we'll mod Rajesh. Alright? Anybody who pays to mod long enough gets to be a mod. That's just the way it works. The party says, bro, if I was really the last mod, why would you hate on me? Because the Pirate Hero. One, I never believed that you were actually the last mod. I did not believe that we were in some weird alternate reality where all of the good mods have left and all I'm left with is the Pirate Hero. And he was the only loyal mod who stayed around because he was fucking watching Gintama. I never believed that for a second. What do you know? There were a bunch of other fucking mods around. So, one, the Pirate Hero. That's why. Two, just because it's funny. Just because it's funny. Cyber Syntax says, is this capitalism? Yeah, I think so. Let's find some real questions. Chinho Wong says, Morge, easy to bribe? Yeah, I am. I don't hide it. I'm very easy to bribe. Is this capitalism? You guys remember that butterfly meme? Everyone remembers the butterfly meme. That's what I'm thinking of right now. Trey number 7 says, is Big Mom stronger than Kaido? No, I don't think so. Let me get one more good question. Here's the reality, by the way, when I say pay to mod. Here's the reality, so you guys think of me as a slightly less bad person. When I see somebody who's really, really, actually supporting me, and not to say that you're not if you're giving a super chat or whatever, but, somebody who's generous enough to, regularly come into my streams and support me just to have me answer questions and stuff, past a certain point, I don't, just out of sheer guilt, I don't want you to have to keep doing that just to get answers from me out of questions. So I prefer to mod you, not just so that you have mod powers and stuff like that, but so that at the very least, I can see your standard statements, right? Because you've got a blue name, blue wrench next to you. The Pirate Hero doesn't need to super chat among all of the other comments and everything that I'm seeing, I don't want it to be oh, the Pirate Hero has to super chat just to get it. You've been in my stream for so long, you've supported me for so long. Like, I'd rather just be able to see your chat when your chat comes up, right? Like, I don't expect that, I don't want someone to have to keep super chatting just to get me to answer a question, essentially, right? The reality of the stream is that there are so many super chats and, like, general chats and stuff that happens for most people that, like, maybe I see your normal comment, but very often it has to be a super chat. If someone's been in the stream for a long time and just supporting me for a long time, I don't want them to have to do that anymore. I'd rather just be able to see their comment when their comment comes up. So take that as you will. It's pay to mod, shitty system, etc. But, like, I do think, in my own weird way, I think that's the right thing to do. I don't know. Just a dude. I said no more super chats. So no more super chats. I will quickly answer your question, but, like, seriously, no more super chats. I'm gonna take one more normal good question after this, and that'll be it. Just a dude. I will answer your question though, but, like, no more super chats for real. Do you think it's more likely that Onishi will land, or we'll get a flashback? I do think it'll land. We might get a flashback as to why the whole thing is, to be moved, but, like, Jake Evans says, why you have no mods? I have mods. I've got plenty of mods. I got a lot of mods. Ikio no Rafa says, do you think Chopper's Awakening will be just a strength buff or something more? Just a strength buff or something more. I don't know. I think it might be maybe strength speed, but maybe like an overall physical stats buff. Like, Chopper can only do so much, right? He can't, like, start shooting laser beams out of his eyes or anything like that. So, Sanjay Suresh says Clippers in 6. I don't think so. I think the Clippers could win, but I don't think it's Clippers in 6. I don't think they're going to reverse sweep the... No, God. Okay, Silvers, I'll accept that. How do I... Is there, like, a way I can just turn off... Tony America says, do you think 2017 will be end of Act 3? I don't see, like, a clear strong point to end Act 3. Maybe if it is just a flashback, then maybe. You might be right, but I don't see a real way. Atomic Ambition says, what is the meaning of life? That would be a great question to end on if only I knew what it was. What's a good question? Why did Kaido say Wano was special? Nah, we've been over that too many times. I don't have a good answer. Do you think the recent animation makes up for the bad pacing? I haven't seen enough. I've heard enough good things about the Wano anime that I'm going to stop saying negative things about it. Because, like, too many people are coming out to defend it. Maybe I'm just completely wrong on it, so I'm not just going to keep saying what I'm saying. Bucks in 6, Kaido in 3. Yeah, I mean, I'd support that. One more good question. Who cursed Zuni should always move, but Sea Turtle to never move? I see what you're saying about the Sea Turtle. You're saying the Sea Turtle under Wano. The pirate here is saying, how do you let go? Answer me, please, LMAO. I could just end the stream again on that. That'd be hilarious. Who remembers when I did that? What is Hiyori's role? Pacing is still awful. Someone says Yonko equals Admiral 1v1. I don't know if we've seen enough to say that for sure. I would still lean towards the Yonko. The newest episode is supposed to be pretty great. Odds of Blackbeard. Okay, I like this. Yamil Diaz says, odds of Blackbeard attacking Whole Cake Island to get pudding in the Poneglyph. I really, really like that idea. I have believed for a while that, like, that is where Blackbeard suggested he would go in chapter 956, because Whole Cake Island is just unguarded at the moment, aside from Katakuri. So that's what my preference would be. I would love if in between Act 3 and Act 4, assuming there will be an Act 4, I would love if in between Act 3 and Act 4, one of the things that we get a quick look at is Blackbeard laying siege to Whole Cake Island. I think that would be really, really awesome to see. So, we are going to end